Joining us now is Craig Mauger. He's the state politics reporter for the Detroit News. I believe, Craig, you have heard the recordings. We know a lot about this story. What we didn't know is that there are recordings, and Jack Smith now has them.
I don't know if Jack Smith has the recordings or not. I have heard these recordings within the last few weeks. I became aware of them within the last few weeks, and I had the chance to listen to them on multiple occasions.
Are they as characterized? Is it, because we all have heard the call that Donald Trump had with the Secretary of State of Michigan. Can you characterize what it sounded like? Was it imploring? Was it pleading?
It was imploring. It was pleading. It was laying out the arguments that the then president had been making on social media repeatedly about Wayne County's election, making them over the phone directly to these two county election officials, telling them, as you just said, that they would look terrible if they signed the certification, arguing with them, how could you sign this knowing that there are more votes than there are people in Detroit, which is a claim that is not accurate. But that was a claim he made on the call with these two Wayne County canvassers, and having the chairwoman of the Republican National Committee joining in the pressure to try to get these two individuals not to sign this document.
One of the things that we've seen across the country in efforts like this, whether we have recordings or we've got texts or we've got testimony that was made to the January 6th committee or that Jack Smith has, is that ultimately, in almost all cases, Republican officials made the determination that they had to act a certain way, and it wasn't the way Donald Trump wanted. Here in Wayne County, which, again, most of my viewers will know as mainly Detroit, these officials went back and forth a few times. What ultimately happened?
They had initially, during the meeting, I mean, this is important context, during the meeting, they initially voted against certifying Wayne County's election. So without their votes, the election in Wayne County couldn't be certified by the county canvassing board. During the same meeting, after a lengthy debate, negotiation, they voted to certify the election on the condition that there would be an audit of Wayne County's election. That was what was approved in the vote. It was a unanimous vote, 4-0. The Republicans joined in supporting that effort. After all of this occurred, there was a large, back and forth among everyone. It was an intense meeting. The two Republican canvassers departed the meeting with a group of people, and outside in the parking lot is where this call from Ronna McDaniel and Donald Trump was received, and they instructed these two individuals and pressured them. You voted to certify, demanding this audit, but if you don't sign this certification, you cannot sign the certification, because if you do sign this certification, you'll never get the audit that you're pressing for. So this idea of not signing the statement of votes, which is kind of a key mechanism in the process of certifying a Michigan election, is really a big moment. Without their signatures, there's the possibility that supporters of the former president could argue that the election in Wayne County wasn't actually certified despite the vote.
Michigan does have a pretty good record of auditing things. That there's sort of a built-in system there. Did Wayne County ultimately get audited?
There was a type of audit that was done by the Secretary of State. They conduct dozens upon dozens of audits of all the elections in Michigan. Was it the type of audit that some of Donald Trump supporters wanted to see? No. Was the election result checked in Detroit and Wayne County like it was checked everywhere in Michigan? Yes. Yes,
they do that well. Wasn't an Arizona-style Detroit audit, if that's what you're trying to say. Craig, thanks very much. We really, really appreciate your reporting on this. Craig Mauger is a reporter for the Detroit News.